LeBron James, MVP, but fell unanimous by 1 vote. Fair or foul?
Knicks Pacers, who's in trouble? What about Golden State and San Antonio? Is the series over for one of these teams?
And finally, speaking of series being over, the Penguins. Are they in trouble with the New York Islanders? All more on Off
the
Bench. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome to Off the Bench. Alex Kozora here. Thanks again for joining us for our last episode of the spring semester. Crazy, where does the time go? As always, Anthony Fiuza here. Anthony, how you doing?
Aren't you glad that I'm here right now?
Really? You did all that just for that joke?
We're not done yet.
We're not done.
I'm not going to cry. I'm going to use humor to
It's going to be a long day. Feel free to turn the channel. The Pirates game's on. Matt Catrillo here as well. Matt, thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Alex. Good to finish off the year with a bang here tonight.
Definitely so. And we'll jump into the NBA, and the first thing I mentioned about in the intro, LeBron James, MVP, which we all figured, no surprise there. The thing that caused a little bit of waves was that he fell one short shy of unanimous, 49 of the 50 of Boston Globe writer voted for Carmelo Anthony, and there was some controversy about it. So Anthony, I'll start with you. Fair or foul, should he have been the first unanimous MVP?
I'm going to say no, because I like Carmelo Anthony. I thought he should have been the winner. Carmelo Anthony led his team to the playoffs.
You thought he should have been the winner over the playoffs? Oh, you would
agree?
Okay.
He led the Knicks to the playoffs, was on a tear there for the last month.
LeBron was too.
But hey, Carmelo, without Melo, the Knicks would not be in the postseason.
Okay.
He deserved the win.
Fair enough. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Anthony here, Alex. I think there was 2 other good favorites besides LeBron. I mean, no question, he had an unbelievable season, almost 27 points per game, 8 rebounds a game, 7 assists per game. But 2 other good candidates, and Kevin Durant with the Thunder, of course, we all know what he can do. Makes a lot of big shots year-round. He did the same thing this year. One of the great leaders of that team. Without him, then they're nothing. You can see that also with Russell Westbrook, too, in the playoffs. And with Carmelo Anthony, like Anthony said, you know, he's single-handedly pretty much got them to the playoffs. Of course, he had a couple other contributing players with J.R. Smith, Tyson Chandler, all those guys on the Knicks right now. But Carmelo Anthony was a major factor in why the Knicks are in the playoffs right now. And as far as the Knicks can go, really goes on Carmelo Anthony's shoulders.
So would Melo have been your MVP winner if you had a vote?
I still would vote LeBron.
Okay,
but Anthony would be a close second, and then Durant third.
Yeah, I understand there were more qualified, or they were well qualified candidates. But I think LeBron, I think he should be unanimous. I'm not gonna tell him if his vote is right or wrong. It's his vote, it's not mine. But I mean, one of the great seasons you've ever seen from any player, and what a streak Miami was on, and LeBron was such a big part of that. Just games where he could not be stopped. The games where he was shooting, 60, 70% for 10 games in a row. So I think if there was a time for a unanimous MVP, it was LeBron James this year.
I mean, I see everybody's point, Alex. I mean, considering, again, everything that he did this year, you just mentioned all that. But, again, there's other candidates that, were on a tear, like Anthony referred to, Carmelo Anthony being one of them. Kevin Durant had his moments this year, and he's had his moments here in the playoffs. Same with LeBron and with Carmelo also.
All right, guys, so we'll move on. We'll stick with the NBA playoffs and with basketball. And we have a couple of great series going on. We have the Pacers and the Knicks, and we have the Warriors and the Spurs. Matt, I'll start with you. Who are your winners in each?
First, for the Pacers series, I have the Knicks in 7. This is going to be a back-and-forth series. We've seen that already. Pacers took Game 1, 102-95. Knicks came back and thrashed the Pacers the other night in Game 2. I think Game 3 is tonight or tomorrow night in Indianapolis. This already has been a very physical series, and because of that, the Pacers just came off of one against the Atlanta Hawks, and they didn't keep their composure very well in that series. They still won. But also, you look back in that series, too, against the Hawks, they were either off or they were right, or spot on. Mm-hmm. And the Knicks have been a lot more consistent in the playoffs. They've hit a lot more bigger shots, as we just mentioned, Carmelo Anthony being one of them. So I think all in all, it's going to be a back-and-forth series, but the Knicks take it in the end. I say they take it in 7. And then the other series with the Warriors and the Spurs I say in 6. I mean, the Warriors are going to give them a run for their money, and the Spurs are going to have to work for it. But in the end, guys like Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, they know how to win. Greg Popovich, their head coach. One of the greatest head coaches in NBA history. They know how to win. They win that in 6.
Okay, so Matt says Knicks and Spurs. Anthony, what say you?
I like the Knicks over the Indiana Pacers. Knicks better perimeter shooting. I think this will be a 6-game series. It could be 7 with the Pacers playing tougher in this series. Also, I like Golden State over San Antonio. San Antonio not as fast on the perimeter, keeping up with this young team. Also, Golden State, I think they might win this in 7 games. So it's going to be a 7-game series.
Okay, so you guys both with the Knicks. I'm going to go with the Pacers just because the Knicks are so streaky of a team right now. J.R. Smith has been extremely cold. So I'm going to go with the Pacers there. I really like guys like Roy Hibbert. I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors as well. The Spurs were my pick, so to go against them, I think it has to take a lot for me to change my mind. But just the way Steph Curry's been, just when he's on a tear, as he usually is, unstoppable. Thompson last night had 29 in the first half, so I'm going to go with Golden State.
The key to that series, excuse me, Anthony, and it's going to be in the post. You know, Tim Duncan.
Sure.
If David Lee was fully healthy, we're in the series right now, in this game right now with the Warriors, then I would pick the Warriors. I probably would have changed that too, Alex. But because David Lee's not there, post presence clearly goes advantage Spurs. Tim Duncan, he had a big game last night, and San Antonio's win.
Still lost. Well, no, they lost. They lost game 2.
Or no, in game 1 rather.
Yeah, well, they still lost that one.
Golden State just better offensively. Curry, Mark Jackson, they're on fire.
All right, guys, our last question. We're going to stick with series winners, the Thunder and the Grizz. The Grizz have made this very interesting now. No Russell Westbrook. That's been clearly evident of how much it's hurt the Thunder. So, Anthony, I'll start with you. Your series winner.
I like Memphis Grizzlies. They can score inside, and they have a much better bench in terms of the Grizzlies. OKC, if they win, they can go all the way to the finals, if that's the case. Because when you get past a team like the Grizzlies, who have nothing to lose, trying to improve on the fly,
true.
You can win the whole thing.
Okay, Matt, who are you going to pick? If you pick the Thunder, how far will they advance?
I'm not picking the Thunder, Alex. I have the Grizzlies in 7, simply because the Thunder just don't have enough depth. And it started when they let James Harden go to the Rockets, when they traded him away right before the beginning of the season. They're clearly missing him. There's no post presence whatsoever either, and it's really showing throughout their playoff run so far. And the Grizzlies, Zach Randolph's dominating down the post to finish that point. But the Grizzlies, they just have a lot of momentum, and they're hitting a lot of big shots in key moments. And Kevin Durant can't do it on his own. And the way the NBA works now is you need more than one player to carry a team, not just one. And that's where the Thunder are really hurting now without Russell Westbrook. So
you
Grizzlies
guys,
in 7.
You guys are all with the Grizzlies. And I am, too. I'm going to pick with the Grizz as well. As good as Durant is, again, like you said, Matt, he cannot do it all on his own with Mike Conley, with Randolph, as you pointed out, Matt. I'm going to take the Grizzlies in 7. All right, guys, we'll take a commercial break. Up next, we'll jump into the NHL playoffs. A lot of talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins. How much trouble are they in? And what other series are we most looking forward to? That all and more up next on Off the Bench.
For a good time, it's gotta be Wasteland Live.
Hi, I'm Clint Hurdle, Pittsburgh Pirates manager, and you're watching Off the Bench.
And welcome back to Off the Bench, guys. We're going to jump into the NHL, and we're going to start local right here in Pittsburgh with the Pittsburgh Penguins. 2-2 series. No one really saw that coming. Islanders playing us very tough. Anthony, I'll start with you. Are the Penguins in trouble? Obviously they are, but how much? And who was your series winner?
I don't think they're in that much trouble
at
all, Alex.
Okay.
Just like the Miami Heat in the NBA, both teams coasted through the regular season. Postseason is going to be a little tough. You have to wake up, you got to shake the rust off, get back to the basics, and play good defense. And
4 games in, though, it's been rocky.
Hey, it's going to be like that in the postseason. The Islanders are a very tough team, and series winner Pens, they're going to win this series. Too much to handle.
Okay, Matt, I know you're the Flyers fan, but let's see what you got.
Actually, you know what, Alex? I expect this to be a series. My original pick going into this series was the Penguins in 6.
Okay.
But I think the winner of tonight's Game 5 is going to win this series. And I expect the Pens to win the game tonight because, you know, they're at home. They got to regroup after a tough loss in Game 4. But if you go back to to the Flyers series last year in the quarterfinals, you're seeing a lot of those mistakes that the Penguins have made. You know, inconsistent on the power play, sloppy defense. You know, you can't believe it all on Marc-Andre Fleury. It's going to be Thomas Vokoun in the net tonight.
We'll get to that in a second.
You know, overall sloppy in special teams, giving up big leads. You saw that in Game 2. They blow a 3-1 lead at home against your division rival. Anything can happen. You're seeing that all in this series this year with the Islanders. And, yeah, the Pens are in trouble, absolutely. I think if they lose this game tonight, the Islanders are going to win this in 6. But I think the Pens win tonight. Islanders win Game 6, and the Pens come back and win Game 7.
Okay, all right, so Penguins in 7. You know, it's like the Knicks, a team that's been hot or cold, is the Penguins. I think they're in trouble right now because you can't be that kind of streaky team. That's why I picked the Pacers. And I'm going to take the Islanders here, honestly. Again, I'm a big Pens fan here. I want them to win, but the Islanders have been playing really good hockey right now, and the Penguins are just not, you know, been up to par. And with goaltending, and then not even just Fleury, like you said, but just how much possession the Islanders have had in our zone. It feels like every single game.
Exactly.
That's just tough.
All I hear is booing you.
Yeah,
for
I
doing
know,
that.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, defense has always been the Achilles heel of the Penguins, Alex. Again, you saw during the 15-game winning streak, that was all well and good. And as you can tell, when the Penguins have that going, they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Until they fix the defense, they will not go as far as they'd like to in the playoffs.
Matt, you talk about defense. Let's talk about goaltending now. That'll segue into our next question. Matt, as you said, Thomas Vokoun in net tonight for the Penguins in place of Marc-Andre Fleury. Matt, I'll start with you. Good move or bad move by Dan Bylsma?
I see what he did because you want to send a message to the team. Again, it's been a lackluster start to the playoffs so far for the Penguins after a great after a good regular season, 72 points, finish off the regular season -- team in the Eastern Conference. But I don't think this was the right move. You know, a lot of this has not been Marc-Andre Fleury's fault. Again, it's all defense, and you can't make every save when the Islanders are in your zone most of the game, as you alluded to in the first block.
Yes.
However, Thomas Vokoun has done a good job filling in for Marc-Andre Fleury and substitutions this year. He's been a lot more solid than I anticipated, based on his days that he had with the Florida Panthers. Sometimes they were good, sometimes they were bad. But in the playoffs, you got to stick with your starting goaltender because now, let's say if the Penguins move on in the playoffs and maybe they win this game tonight, you know what does that do to Marc-Andre Fleury's confidence?
A lot more.
And he's supposed to be your guy. So I don't know if this was the correct move, but Dan Bylsma did this for a reason. That was to send a message to his team into a very critical Game 5 tonight.
Okay, fair enough. Anthony?
Marc-Andre Fleury giving up 6 goals last game is not going to help his chances. Not in the postseason. You need a veteran like Vokoun that's fresh. Have him come in. I like this move completely. Keep it short and sweet for you.
Yeah, no, rare time that happens, especially with Catrillo over here. But I like the move too, just because again I think the Penguins are in trouble right now, and it's just a win now mode. It's not about okay we have to stick with our guy. It's about producing, getting results, and winning. I think Thomas Vokoun gives you that best chance right now because Fleury is struggling.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, his confidence, back to what I said before, it would be hurt. It is hurt anyway because he's not playing. But I think after just the way that the goal that he gave up that clinched the game for the Islanders, the 6th goal going off his skate.
He's had some bad luck.
They finally got him, so you got to make
it. Goals are goals. All right, so our last question for this block, guys. Matt, I'll start with you. What other series are you most looking forward to that's going on right now?
One series I'm looking forward to is Boston-Toronto. Now, Boston's up 3-1. But I think Toronto's going to come back and win this series. I honestly do. I was high on the Maple Leafs coming into this series, and Boston, as we've seen previous years, has a tendency to give up the big series leads. Which I think Toronto's a very resilient team. They just hosted their first home playoff game since 2004, and that was an incredible team up at the Air Canada Center in Toronto. So I think a lot of people think the series is over, but I don't think so. Okay. So I think it's going to be an interesting series to watch out for.
Anthony, which one strikes you?
I like the Ottawa Senators and the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens, one of the better teams in hockey this season, and they're struggling. They're down 3-1 to Ottawa. Ottawa, I said on this show,
I was going to mention
they had the best defense. They can beat anybody in the postseason like Montreal and Pittsburgh. Here they are up 3-1. The Canadiens, they can come back, but Ottawa, they're a team to reckon with. They can go all the way to the finals.
You said it. He called it here first. Hey, credit him. And I said the Sharks over the Canucks, and they swept them in 4. So, hey, look at that.
What we're talking about.
It wasn't that bad of a pick, though. Canucks have been awful in the playoffs the last couple of years.
Don't hate, all right?
Yeah.
Good pick. I give you credit. Boy, I'm just saying. Canucks have been awful in the
parentheses.
Quickly, my pick. I went Ducks and Red Wings 3-2 right now. Anaheim leading that one. Went into overtime last night. I think that's really exciting. Detroit into the historic franchise. Of course, not what they used to be. And then Anaheim, so curious to see who wins there. All right, guys, we'll go to our next commercial break. Up next, it's our summer block created by yours truly over here. We'll talk about what we're looking forward to up this summer. All more on Off the Bench.
Go to the beach.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. I'll teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
Can't find your one-of-a-kind ingredient? Looking to challenge your appetite with exotic flavor? Your search ends at 6th & Maine's unique array of groceries and ingredients. Specializing in the not-so-widely available, 6th & Maine is Clarion's supplier of the striking tastes that shape a stylish palate. With their varied styles and unmatched selection, 6th & Maine has got the taste you have only dreamt about. Let your taste run wild at 6th & Maine.
I got no pulse. We're losing him.
Charging. He's in V-Fit.
Shock him.
Drives it road all the time. Just had a few drinks. Just can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear.
We're just buzzed.
Just buzzed. You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. He'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shock him.
And back here on Off the Bench, glad you guys could be tuning in for the last episode of this semester. 11 episodes with this kid here, Anthony Fiuza. It's been fun.
It's been joyous
And
each and every time out, and yeah, really privileged. Learned a lot.
right, we'll save the crying for the last block. All right, so we have our summer block now, and this is created by Mr. Anthony Fiuza over here. I'll lead it off, though. I'll throw the question to you here, Anthony. What team will shock the world, of your words, not mine, in this summer?
Well, how about the Dodgers? This is a team that continued to spend money the past couple of years. They're fifth in the division right now, dead last in the weak NL West, weak National League, and they're going to be below 500, I think, throughout the whole summer.
So it's
They will be shocking the world in a negative sense.
Okay, negative sense. I didn't know how you were going with that.
Yes.
Okay, well, they've certainly done it so far. Matt?
I have a shocking and a positive one. I kind of alluded to this in my last point in the last block, Alex, going back to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think they come back, win this series against Boston, and they're going to go all the way to the Cup final.
Ooh, really?
I'm telling you, this Toronto team is scary.
My
And they haven't been
goodness.
playing like it. They're down 3-1, but you know what? When you have a team with their backs against the wall, again, this is a very resilient bunch. Great goaltending that they have. James Reelsman has a 92% save average. 19 wins this year. James Van Riemsdyk has been tremendous goal scorer for the Maple Leafs this year, former Flyer. So bring that in there. And going into the next round, they would play. If the Senators win their series, and let's say the Penguins win their series, they would play the winner. I think Toronto would beat any one of those teams, and then they would beat the East to go to the Cup final.
So
I think they would probably lose to the Blackhawks. They're my team. They're my team out of the West.
Drinking the maple syrup of the Maple
That's
Leafs. Right. Okay, all right. For mine, I'm stuck with baseball. I went with and get ready for this, the Kansas City Royals, 17-13 right now.
That's a great pick.
Second in the Central. Billy Butler, he's a power guy. Jeremy Guthrie, he's been revived. Alex Gordon, the guy that used to be a bust, now leading the team, leading the charge offensively. So the Kansas City Royals make a ton of noise. How about that?
Make it deep in the postseason?
Let's not go that far,
All
but
right.
They at least make the
extremely
playoffs.
competitive, much better than it has been.
I like
All right, our next question here.
Krejcik and Char are not going to blow that series.
You had to get that in there?
Okay.
All right, fair enough. All right, Matt, I'll throw this question to you now. I'll break up your two fight here. What event or game will draw the most attention over the summer?
If these two teams get there, the NBA, if we have a rematch of the NBA Finals, Heat Thunder, that's going to be something to watch because the Thunder are going to want their revenge. But, you know, can Kevin Durant do it? Kevin Durant will get all the glory that he did it on his own if he gets his team against the team that beat them last year. And then if the Heat win again, they're back-to-back champions. LeBron James is going to get a lot of credit. That kind of blows my – when we go to the next topic. But it'd be a very interesting series to watch for sure. Just the rematch and all the hoopla would be amazing to see.
Okay, Mr. Fiuza?
I'm going to go with a specific date, Saturday, August 15th, before we come back here. That's 15th, yes. Before we come back here, the New York Yankees going into the Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park. It'll be a big series to see who will win that AL East.
Okay, fair enough. I went a little broader with mine, just the NBA championship. At this point, who knows who's going to play, but whoever it is, it's going to be a great story. The viewership, I'm sure, is going to be sky high this year. So whoever plays in the title game, I think that'll be the biggest
I think
draw.
so, too, because you can have a lot of interesting stories. You mentioned the Grizzlies.
Right.
I mentioned the Thunder and the Heat. Let's say if the Bulls upset the Heat,
the Knicks
they'll be a great study. The Knicks and Pacers are good stories, too. Yeah.
I'd love to see Knicks Grizz. Just the things that those guys have went through.
Actually, a lot of people have picked that to be the finals, the Knicks and the Grizzlies.
Big fan of Marcus All.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
It's a possibility. Powell's very jealous. All right, last question there, Anthony, for you. What athlete will be talked about the most?
I love Powell, but he is not the athlete that we most talked about. How about Kobe Bryant? Everyone's going to be wondering, Kobe, how's your leg doing? Are you okay? Do you need a pillow? Do you want to go get a movie sometime? I don't know. People are going to be wondering what's going on with this guy.
Are they asking that, or are you asking Kobe that?
I would ask him that.
You would ask him that?
I would ask him for more than that, but Kobe, my man, he's going to get.
Yeah, I don't want to know what more than that is, but.
Let's move on. Matt?
Amusement parks, come on.
Normally, I'm the one that would. Never mind. I'm not going
moving on.
Autographs.
Go.
Moving on. LeBron James.
Okay.
LeBron James, as I mentioned in last block, if the Heat were to win and go all the way, say he wins another Finals MVP, he'll be all the praise and the glory, always the next Jordan. He's 4 away. The Heat would have won 2 in a row. He's so great, this and that. If he loses, they just won 1 championship. That's it. The critics come back. He can't do it. He can't do it consistently. He's not Jordan. It'll be LeBron James. No question.
Matt, you'll probably like this one. I stuck with the Jets. I'm not talking about Tebow, but Mark Sanchez and Geno Smith. I'm sure as we training camp nears, there'll be a big battle there. What will happen to Mark Sanchez, the Jets in general? Always a big story.
I think that's right, spot on. AKA ESPN will be all over that.
I think it would be interesting to see, going back to the team that would shock the world, how about the Eagles? They could start Matt Barkley. How'd you like that?
That would shock me for sure.
Hey, it's possible.
I don't know if I'd be back here if that ever happens.
Fingers crossed. Okay, so we'll go to our last block. It'll be our final word. We're trying to get too teary-eyed. Stay tuned on Off the Bench.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people, and you're better than that.
At Sheetz, your favorite meal on the go is just a touch away. The MTO, or made-to-order menu, is the perfect way to quickly get food that will satisfy any craving. Don't worry about trying to decide which fast food restaurant will satisfy your taste. Sheetz' wide variety of choices and simple ordering system makes the decision easy. For those especially hectic days when time is at a premium, Sheetz also offers the MTO to-go case with quick grabs. Sheetz is conveniently located at 1281 East Main Street in Clarion.
Up on sex, don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars are finally making headlines, thanks to, you guessed it, Tim Tebow. Another media fiasco, including Tebow, started in January when new Jaguars general manager David Caldwell said that he couldn't imagine a scenario where he'd be a Jaguar, even if he's released. In response to that, radio advertisements were made by Orlando attorney John Morgan, urging owner Shad Khan to sign Tebow so the Jaguars can win for the people. Let me just say, Mr. Morgan, if you want to do something for the people, don't encourage anyone to relate the Jags to bring in a guy that can't play quarterback in the NFL. Then the site, even if he's released.com, went live Wednesday morning in response to the radio ads supported by Smart Jaguars fans that say their team doesn't need Tebow. You stick to your guns, Smart Jaguars fans. Tim Tebow will not help this team on the field in any way, nor bring more fans to games. He has become nothing but a headache for this league. In fact, ticket sales would decrease even if Tebow were to become a Jaguar. He will not help the Jaguars, nor any NFL team on the field or in the sales department.
Okay, Matt, so tell us how you really feel there. Another chance to attack Tim Tebow. Ouch.
Yeah. There's nothing else I could say. I think that was.
I think you said plenty.
Yeah.
I was going to give you a Tebow jersey for next Christmas, but that ain't happening.
That's Cross it off. All right, Anthony, your final word.
Throughout the year, we have seen many memorable moments. The Ravens bringing the Lombardi Trophy back to the Charm City. Adam Scott winning the Masters title. Loads of roster moves in the NHL and NFL. Baseball stars continue to drop like flies in production due to injuries, and kids going through tough times found their way onto some kind of field. I hope everyone's enjoyed off the bench this semester, and I thank those that helped with this show's success. Now on to Denver, where Broncos linebacker and former poultry science major Von Miller decided to get a leg up on Body Ink. Miller paid a tattoo parlor to have a chicken's head on his calf, calling it chicken fried. And speaking of fried, Miller should be worried about helping his defense avoid choking in the postseason next year. In Chandler, Arizona, a pole vaulter known as Aria Ottmuller will compete tomorrow in the Division IV Arizona State Championships. The 17-year-old Valley Christian High School junior was born blind and she jumps at 6'7". This qualified her for states, and now she has a goal of jumping over 7 feet 6 inches. She typically jumps that high in practice, so don't worry, she'll be fine. Good luck, Aria. Here's a tip: no matter what, no one, under any circumstances, should be underestimated. Good luck, Aria.
Okay, thank you, Anthony. Always an interesting final word that you find. Appreciate it.
I try it for the people.
For the people.
Like Mr.
Right.
Chad Kahn of the Jaguars. For the people.
For the people. All right, guys, for my final word. As Anthony said, it has been a year of memorable moments, not just in the sports world, but in this station producing this show. It was a different experience going from co-host to host, and I couldn't have done it without the help of so many people. First, I have to thank everyone who was behind the scenes throughout the semester, be it directing the show, running a camera, or the people who got stuck on teleprompter just for this block and probably hate me for it. Rick, you know what I'm talking about. You guys make this show and all the others possible. I want to again thank my co-host in the fall semester, Chad Trimpey, for the awesome job that he did, and to his friends who still hopefully watch this show. Thanks to all the guests that have been on the show this year, taking the time out of their busy lives to talk to my stupid face for a half hour. Thank you to my new co-host, Anthony Fiuza, for the job you've done this semester, and to our sports director, Ian Hunter. Looking beyond the weekly puns, Anthony, it's been a ton of fun working with you. I know we're only going to make this show even better. And finally, might sound a little cheesy, but thank you to my mom for all her support and encouragement during my first 2 years in college. I hope the next 2 go just as well. All right, guys.
Alex, I like that.
I'm going to cry.
I'm going to cry,
need a
too. We
tissue.
got to bring it in. We got to bring it in.
But one day I don't have a tissue. Real quick, though, to all those that have ever believed in me, to all those that have passed away, everything that I did on radio and TV was for you up there in the great heavens. So I thank you so much for that. I've learned a lot from everybody here. And Alex, I'm going to cry. I need a tissue.
Matt, any final words here? Last show for CUTV.
That's right.
We'll be back in the fall. Let's give it up.
I think it's been a great year, Alex, for all of us here at CUTV, and looking forward to doing more wonderful broadcasts next year. Let's do it.
I love it.
All right, you guys rock. All the seniors, best of luck. Congratulations, and good luck to you in the future. Please visit soon.
Freshmen, come on, we need some competition here. Huh?
Don't forget to check out all of our sports broadcasts this year on CUTV The Nest on our YouTube channel, created by Mr. Alex Kozora, so check all those out.
The Fuse saying peace.
All right, enough shameless plugs. We'll leave you with our moment of the week. We'll go soccer. It's Henri with 2 goals. Have a great summer clarity.
Very good. Henri picks up Alexander. Eric Alexander, left foot strike off the post. Loose in front. Henri, and it's in. Well, it took an extra touch. Still plenty of time. Juninho. His corner, looking for Holgerson. What a goal! Thierry Henry cycles one home. And that might put this to bed. My goodness.